It's officially autumn, the season when Gilmore Girls fans start their rewatches, but for those who want to branch out and watch another cozy show, there are plenty of great options. Recently, Gilmore Girls stars Lauren Graham and Alexis Bledel reunited as presenters at the 77th Primetime Emmys, where they jokingly, and appropriately, made the claim that their show took the season of fall hostage. Gilmore Girls' fall vibes are a big reason why so many of us love the series, but its quaint small town of Stars Hollow, Connecticut, its quirky residents, and of course, the loving and close-knit relationship between Lorelai and Rory all contribute to making it a show we can't watch just once. Luckily, these other series feature several of the elements that make Gilmore Girls so great. Good Witch. 2015 to 2017. Cassie in a fall coat in Good Witch. With Lorelai and Rory's ability to drink more coffee and eat more junk food than humanly possible, they certainly seem like supernatural beings, and if you don't mind a bit of magic with your cozy TV, Good Witch is your next binge watch. The Hallmark series centers around local enchantress Cassie Nightingale raising her teenage daughter, Grace, in the small town of Middleton. That premise definitely hits some familiar Gilmore Girls beats, and the presence of light magic only adds to Good Witch's coziness. Plus, although Cassie and Grace experience hardship and loss just like Lorelai and Rory, the show is also relaxingly low stakes. Grace and Frankie. 2015 to 2022. Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda laughing in the pilot of Grace and Frankie. It may not have the fall vibes that Gilmore Girls fans are looking for, but Grace and Frankie offers just as much charm and wit, and features two dynamic female leads in Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin as the titular protagonists. In the Netflix show, Fonda's Martinez-willing cosmetics mogul, Grace, and Tomlin's free-spirited artist, Frankie, are polar opposites who become friends after their husbands leave them for each other. Grace and Frankie's oceanic San Diego setting is also its own kind of comforting, as the women's beach house is a real estate dream, and we envy their long walks along the water wrapped in cozy sweaters. When Grace and Frankie finally admit that they're best friends, they also develop a quirky, odd couple dynamic not dissimilar to Lorelai and Rory's. Sweet Magnolias. 2020 present. The Sweet Magnolias enjoying a picture of margaritas in a kitchen. Those who were instantly charmed by the name of Stars Hollow will feel a similar pull to Serenity, South Carolina in Netflix's Sweet Magnolias. Based on the novels by Cheryl Woods, Sweet Magnolias centers around three lifelong female friends who all live very different romantic and professional lives, but always find time to dish about them over weekly margaritas. This is very reminiscent of Lorelai and Rory's frequent catch-ups over coffee or a meal at Luke's diner, and though Sweet Magnolias can be a little more serious than Gilmore Girls, you know that the main characters in both shows will be okay because of their central relationships. Plus, Sweet Magnolias Season 5 is on the way, so it's a perfect cozy show that's still airing new episodes. Derry Girls. 2018 to 2022. Saoirse Monica Jackson as Erin in Derry Girls. At first blush, it may not seem that a series set amidst the Troubles conflict in Northern Ireland could be cozy, but Derry Girls is the ultimate comfort watch. The Netflix series follows a group of teens living in the titular city who deal with the relatable, everyday problems of growing up, all throughout that pivotal time in history. If your favorite Gilmore Girls moments are Rory's experiences at Chilton, you'll find a lot to love with Derry Girls, as the antics of Erin and her friends often take place around their secondary school. Even though the Derry Girls spend more time bemoaning the place they call home, as opposed to celebrating it like Rory does Stars Hollow, it's clear there's just as much love there. Ginny and Georgia. 2021 present. Ginny looking surprised and Georgia smiling in Ginny and Georgia Season 2. Copyright symbol Netflix, courtesy Everett Collection. By far the show that most gets compared to Gilmore Girls, Ginny and Georgia has plenty of similarities to the iconic 2000 series. The Netflix show centers around the titular single mom and teenage daughter who move to the sleepy town of Wellsbury, Massachusetts, to start a new life. Ginny and Georgia is a much darker show than Gilmore Girls, as Georgia's reasons for uprooting her family were quite serious. However, there's no denying Ginny and Georgia's crackling wit, heartfelt mother-daughter dynamic, and cozy small-town setting that will scratch an itch for those missing Stars Hollow. Virgin River. 2019 present. Mel, Alexandra Breckenridge, and Jack, Martin Henderson, hugging and smiling in Virgin River. Just like Lorelai fled her upper-crust Connecticut society roots for the homey charm of Stars Hollow, Virgin River's Mel Monroe runs from her troubles in Los Angeles to the titular cozy Northern California town. A popular Netflix series, Virgin River fans are awaiting the 7th season, and the streaming platform has also greenlit an 8th. While romance isn't the core component of Gilmore Girls, the protagonists' love lives are definitely a major factor in the series, with Luke and Lorelai's relationship being a highlight. There's a reason why small-town romances are so popular, and Mel finding love with local business owner Jack will make you give you the same warm and fuzzy feelings you felt for the Gilmore Girls couple. All Creatures Great and Small. 2020 present. The All Creatures Great and Small cast posing in the country surrounded by farm animals. While Gilmore Girls is anchored by the great performances of Lauren Graham and Alexis Bledel, the show wouldn't be nearly as special without stars Hollow's zany yet charming residents sprinkled into Lorelai and Rory's lives. All Creatures Great and Small, which airs on Masterpiece on PBS in the US, centers on young vet James Herriot, who moves to the Yorkshire Dales and becomes entrenched in its community. The 1930s English countryside may seem like the complete opposite of Gilmore Girls' very 2000s world, but both series' locations are brimming with gentle kindness that provides the most comforting distractions from the real world. Plus, due to the nature of James's job, animal lovers will also find an extra dose of wholesomeness with All Creatures Great and Small. Only Murders in the Building. 2021 present. Mabel in a yellow coat in an apartment in Only Murders in the Building. Gilmore Girls may have taken the season of fall hostage, but Only Murders in the Building is also full of autumnal coziness. The Hulu comedy series, which has recently gone into its 5th season, sees the true crime podcasting trio of Charles, Oliver, and Mabel solving murders that are committed in their New York apartment building, the Arconia. A show about murder may seem like the last thing a Gilmore Girls fan would call cozy, but gritty the show is not. Light on graphic violence and heavy on laughs, the close-knit dynamic between the central trio is full of banter and warm affection, just like Lorelai and Rory have with each other. Plus, it's worth watching for Mabel's fall coats alone.